The mistake most people make is quitting in the first phase when they don't see progress. But the signs you've already experienced are proof that the visible results are on their way. The role of patience and consistency. Patience is not optional in fat loss. It's the foundation. Think of it like growing a tree. You water the soil daily, but for weeks you see nothing above the ground. Then suddenly one day a small green shoot appears. Fat loss works the same way. You may feel discouraged when the mirror doesn't show much change, but internally your body is rebuilding its systems, balancing hormones, repairing metabolism, reducing inflammation. Once those systems stabilize, the external changes happen faster than you expect. That's why consistency beats speed. Skipping workouts or giving up after 2 weeks won't let your body reach that breakthrough stage. But steady progress, even slow progress, guarantees long-term results. How to accelerate belly fat loss. Now let's talk action. If you're already experiencing the 7 signs, you're doing things right. But how can you make the process faster and more noticeable? Prioritize protein. Eating enough protein keeps you full, preserves muscle, and boosts metabolism. This helps your body burn belly fat instead of breaking down muscle. Strength training. Cardio burns calories, but strength training changes your body composition. More muscle bucks higher metabolism, faster belly fat reduction. Control stress, high cortisol, stubborn belly fat. Meditation, deep breathing, or even a simple daily walk lowers cortisol. Improve sleep. As we mentioned earlier, sleep is fat loss fuel. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of high-quality sleep to regulate hunger hormones. Stay hydrated. Water helps flush toxins, reduces bloating, and improves digestion, making your belly appear leaner even before fat melts completely. Practice consistency, not perfection. You don't need a perfect diet every single day. Small, consistent improvements work better than temporary extremes. The mental game of fat loss. Here's a truth few people talk about. Fat loss is as much mental as it is physical. The scale may not always move the way you want. The mirror may not show immediate results. Progress can feel invisible, but your body is listening to every healthy choice you make. Those choices accumulate into habits, and habits transform into results. If you can focus on the process instead of obsessing over the mirror, you'll not only burn belly fat but also build a lifestyle where fat never returns. The long-term rewards. When belly fat finally melts away, the rewards extend far beyond appearance. You'll notice lower blood pressure, reduced risk of type 2 diabetes, better cardiovascular health, stronger immunity, greater self-confidence. But perhaps the greatest reward is freedom. Freedom from cravings, from fatigue, from insecurity about your health. That's why those subtle signs are worth celebrating. They're the first step toward a body and life that feel completely different. Closing of part 2, so let's recap. In part 1, we identified the 7 subtle signs belly fat is already melting. Looser clothes, higher energy, better sleep, less bloating, fewer cravings, improved digestion, and greater endurance. In part 2, we connected those signs to visible fat loss, explained why belly fat is stubborn, and revealed how patience, consistency, and simple daily habits turn invisible progress into undeniable results. The lesson is simple. Trust the process. The mirror might be slow, but your body is already changing. Every day of healthy choices is melting belly fat, one layer at a time. And if you stay consistent, the results you've been waiting for will not only appear, they'll stay. Losing belly fat is one of the biggest struggles for people worldwide. You may eat healthier, work out more, and even drop a few pounds on the scale. Yet when you look in the mirror, your stomach looks almost the same. That can be frustrating, and it often makes people believe nothing is working. But the reality is, your body often shows internal signs of fat burning before the external results become visible. Belly fat is stubborn, especially visceral fat, the kind that wraps around your organs and silently increases your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and inflammation. Unlike subcutaneous fat, which sits just under the skin, visceral fat burns away more slowly but responds powerfully to consistent lifestyle changes. The challenge is you don't always see it disappearing at first. Instead, you feel it in your energy, your digestion, your sleep, and even your cravings. That's why, in this chapter, we'll explore the 7 key signs your belly fat is melting away, even if you can't notice it in the mirror yet. If you recognize these signs, congratulations. You're already on the right track. And your results are closer than you think. Sign 1. Your clothes start fitting differently. Before your abs become visible, your wardrobe becomes the first witness to your transformation. Many people notice their pants fastening more easily, shirts feeling less snug around the waist, or belts needing an extra notch. These changes are not an illusion. They're the body's subtle way of revealing progress. What's really happening? Fat around the midsection doesn't just sit outside. It surrounds your internal organs, increasing waist circumference. As you lose visceral fat, even if the layer under your skin hasn't dramatically shrunk yet, your waistline begins to slim down. That's why clothes often reveal fat loss before the mirror does. So, if your jeans suddenly slide on without a fight, or your favorite dress feels more comfortable, take it as a quiet victory. Sign 2. Higher energy levels. Throughout the day, excess belly fat is closely linked to insulin resistance, where your body struggles to use glucose efficiently. This leads to constant fatigue, sugar crashes, and a heavy, sluggish feeling. But when you start burning fat, insulin sensitivity improves, and your cells fuel themselves more efficiently. That's why you may suddenly feel lighter, more active, and less dependent on coffee or snacks to get through the day. Instead of crashing in the afternoon, you feel steady energy from morning until night. This increased vitality is your body's way of saying, we're not just storing calories anymore, we're burning them. Sign 3. Better sleep quality. Another powerful but often overlooked signal is sleep. Belly fat is tied to higher cortisol levels, hormone imbalances, and even sleep apnea caused by excess weight pressing on your airways. As your belly fat decreases, your body begins to rebalance important hormones like leptin and ghrelin, which control hunger and satiety. This leads to deeper, more restful sleep. You wake up refreshed instead of groggy. Quality sleep doesn't just mean fat is already melting, it also accelerates the process. When you sleep better, your body recovers more efficiently, burns more fat, and controls cravings the next day. If you've recently noticed uninterrupted nights and more energy in the mornings, it's not luck. It's a signal of fat loss in action. Sign 4. Reduced bloating and a flatter stomach feeling. Many people mistake bloating for belly fat. Poor digestion, excess sodium, sugary foods, and stress can all cause the stomach to swell. But when you make healthier choices and start losing fat, your digestion improves and bloating fades. You might wake up in the morning with a noticeably flatter stomach, even if the mirror doesn't yet show visible abs. That lighter, less swollen feeling is proof your gut is healthier, your inflammation is lower, and your fat-burning process is underway. It may seem like a small win, but reduced bloating often signals big internal changes. Sign 5. Reduced cravings and better appetite control. One of the most exciting internal signs of belly fat loss is the decline in junk food cravings. Fat tissue is metabolically active. It produces hormones that can fuel constant hunger. The more fat you carry, the more your body demands quick, high-calorie foods to sustain it. But as you burn belly fat, your insulin sensitivity improves, and your hunger hormones stabilize. Suddenly, you don't crave chips or sweets at midnight. You feel satisfied with balanced meals. Your appetite feels natural instead of out of control. This is more than willpower. It's chemistry. When your cravings calm down, it means your body is burning stored fat for energy and doesn't need constant emergency fuel from junk food. Sign 6. Better digestion and gut health. Another hidden but powerful signal comes from your digestive system. Visceral belly fat can place pressure on your organs and negatively affect gut health. But when fat begins to shrink, digestion often improves significantly. You may notice fewer stomach aches, less constipation, and more regular bowel movements. This is not just coincidence. It's your digestive system working more efficiently as pressure decreases and your gut microbiome heals. Improved digestion means less internal inflammation, which is essential for long-term fat loss. Sign 7. Noticeable strength and endurance. Gains. Finally, perhaps the most rewarding sign, you can physically do more than you could before. Maybe you can jog longer without gasping for air. Maybe you can climb stairs without stopping. Or perhaps your workouts feel less exhausting, and you recover faster. This happens because as belly fat decreases, your cardiovascular system works more efficiently, and your muscles use oxygen better. Fat tissue no longer weighs down your energy reserves, so endurance and strength naturally rise. Even if the mirror shows slow progress, your body performance tells the truth. You're becoming leaner, stronger, and fitter. Closing of part 1. So, if you're looking in the mirror and doubting yourself, pause and look at the real signs. Belly fat doesn't disappear overnight, and it doesn't always show visually at first. But your body communicates with you through subtle signals. Looser clothes, higher energy, deeper sleep, reduced bloating, fewer cravings, improved digestion, and greater endurance. These are not random changes. They are proof your body is already melting belly fat, even before you can clearly see it. In part 1, we explored 7 subtle yet powerful signals that your belly fat is already melting away, even if your reflection hasn't caught up. But here's the truth. Seeing physical results takes time, and many people give up right before the most visible changes appear. In this part, we're going to go deeper. We'll connect those 7 hidden signs to the long-term visible transformation. We'll also uncover why belly fat is often the last to leave, how consistency beats speed, and what small daily actions accelerate the process. If you're experiencing the early signals we talked about earlier, you're already in the transformation phase. The question now is, how do you stay on track until the results are undeniable? Why belly fat is stubborn? Before we dive deeper, let's face an important truth. Belly fat doesn't burn away as quickly as fat from other parts of the body. You may notice slimmer arms, a leaner face, or even smaller thighs before you see major changes around your waistline. Why? Because belly fat, especially visceral fat, is hormonally active. It's influenced heavily by stress hormones like cortisol and storage hormones like insulin. This means it resists being burned until your body rebalances itself. But here's the encouraging part. Once your body adjusts and starts targeting visceral fat, the health benefits are massive. You're not just looking slimmer. You're lowering your risk of diabetes, protecting your heart, and extending your life. So when you notice those early signs, better sleep, fewer cravings, more energy, understand that your body is finally shifting out of storage mode and into fat-burning mode. Connecting the signs to visible change now. Let's connect the dots. Looser clothes, soon. This becomes visible, inches lost around the waistline. When your jeans feel comfortable, your mirror will soon reflect the same. Higher energy. You'll move more, exercise harder, and burn even more calories. That energy builds momentum. Better sleep. Your hormone balance resets. Cortisol drops and belly fat becomes easier to burn. Reduced bloating. That flatter morning stomach eventually becomes a consistently leaner waistline. Fewer cravings. You naturally eat fewer calories without forcing yourself, making fat loss sustainable. Better digestion. Nutrients get absorbed more effectively, giving your body the tools to build muscle and burn fat. Increased endurance. You train harder, recover faster, and push your body to transform externally. Do you see the pattern? These hidden signals are not separate. They are all interconnected gears in the machine of fat loss. When they work together, visible belly fat reduction becomes inevitable. The timeline of fat loss. Let's be realistic about time. Fat doesn't accumulate overnight, and it doesn't vanish overnight either. In the first few weeks, you'll mostly notice internal signals, energy, digestion, sleep. By the first 2 months, your clothes will fit looser, bloating will reduce, and your workouts will improve. Around 3 to 6 months, visible belly fat reduction becomes more noticeable, with inches lost around your waist. Beyond that, with consistency, you'll begin to see true definition in your stomach.